And now we're going to be reviewing all the images that I took, so you can tell how good or bad this camera actually is. So it's not really bad, the quality of the pictures that you get here, and if you use the flash, it's going to give it a lot more texture too. And you can tell the difference between the images that most of them came out pretty good. And you can see the dog here pausing. This is a micro picture of an item without a flash. And here is a movie. Here are more images right here. And it is showing you on the sides, well, it is actually overexposed. And here it is again, which is good because it gives you details about the item. I'm going to zoom out or zoom in, you can do it here too. And now this is super zoomed in. And on the other hand, this is how much it's going to zoom into it. So can you see where the stop sign is in this picture? You really can't. But if you go and zoom in, you can see it's actually a viewed sign in here. So the viewed sign is supposed to be right there. I mean, that's where it is. And here is when it's zoomed in. It just shows you the capacity of this camera. Here's a picture of a vehicle right here. Here's another one. Here's the dog again. And the only thing about this is that it's not the best kind of way for you to cycle through the images. So I do wish there was a better way for this to do that. Because once you find the image you want, you cycle through it. If you have a movie, you have to go and manually zoom out of the image. And then you have to go through this once again. And here's another micro picture with a flash, and you can see the capacity of it taking a micro image. Without a flash, it doesn't look so good. Here's another micro picture, and this is for comparison purpose, so you can figure out if there is something that you want to get this camera or not. Here's some bodies I found outside flying up, which is kind of cool that I was able to capture them with this camera. This is one of the really big pluses about this camera, is that ordinarily I wouldn't be able to capture it with a power shot. A bunch of bodies flying all the way in the sky. And with this camera I was able to capture it, and you can see how small and tiny they are. And I zoomed right in here. You can hardly see them here at all. So that's definitely something that you can use for even board photography. But it is a super dark camera too. This should have been much more brighter, and it's not. And here it is super zoomed in. It's not that bad actually, and you can see it right here. Here is what I just did though. Here is a vehicle. And zooming out, you can really tell the capacity of this camera, that it can zoom all the way to the viewed side, all the way in here, and you can't really see it. So yeah, touchscreen does kind of work. It just did. So there is a capacity of touchscreen, not much, but it's not the best touchscreen, but it does work. I thought it didn't exist, but now I can see it does exist. And it lets you move it too, which is kind of cool. So you can move in, but you can't really zoom in using the touchscreen. Let's keep on moving it out. There we go. And now here's a license plate of a vehicle, and you can tell how far away it was. So over here, vehicle is hidden right inside here, and you can tell that I zoomed all the way in, and I was able to read the license plate of this car. Here's another one right here, and you can just see the neighbor next door. kind of see him. Can't really see him. Here's another one like that. And here I'm going to be zooming in all the way to the viewed side. Or trying to zoom in here. Oh, I'm just showing you around. I forgot what it was. But you can tell the big difference with this camera. Here it is zooming into the viewed side. So the viewed side is right there. And here is a vehicle and so on. So we got a bunch of different images from this one. The capacity is very good with this camera. There is a lot of zoom capacity to it. And when you zoom in, super zoom in, it does come out a lot. When you zoom out, that's how much you normally get here. There is the 4K capacity of this camera, different modes, such as the auto program, and you can cycle through the different modes too if you want to by going to the scenery section and selecting the scenery that you actually want. You can go ahead and shoot off at a tripod, night portrait, animals, enter motion, pets, food, fireworks, change the ISO, sunset, landscape, macro, and portrait mode. Good that we have a lot of automation here, but we also got the scenery mode. So we just showed you the scenery, swept panoramas, and a lot of other functions here you can do too. And we have a bunch of movie modes that we can use. Overall, very nice slim camera for going on vacation, taking movies with it, going to small places, and it is super cheap for the price, like around 450 bucks for a super zoom camera. It is not the best camera for taking micro photography or to actually getting the best possible DSLR pictures. This is really a travel super zoom camera, and it is really good at that job. Everything else it's not really good at. So if you're getting this for the purpose of just traveling and taking pictures on your vacation, you don't care much about the photography and the actual lighting of the camera, because this is a super dark camera, this is great for you. As long as it's bright outside, this camera is going to do well, or if you're using the built-in flash. Anything else for that matter, this camera is not able to handle, and it is really not made for it. So overall, great budget camera for what it is, providing you understand the limitations and what it is built for. So my rating for this camera, it is 9-star for a zoom camera and a travel camera. Everything else it super fails at it, and I don't recommend it for any other purpose. So it'd be like 2 or 3 star for micro photography, for regular pictures and so on. And this is not recommended camera unless of course you just need this for traveling, and it really is a traveling camera. So if you're going and you need pictures of things that are far away, and maybe this is like an awesome James Bond kind of camera, and if you're a spy or anything like it, this is a great camera for you. Other than that, I don't see any real purpose for having something like this in your lens gear, but that is just my take of it. Whatever you think of this camera, please post right down below, and I can't wait to make another video review of another awesome camera or something else in the future. So let me know what you think of this, and please subscribe to this channel if you did enjoy the video, and see you in another one of the Geek Tech shows.